The global aviation industry will require about 981,000 pilots and over 1 million technicians by the year 2030. That's according to the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO. Worldwide, it's becoming increasingly difficult for the available human capital to complement the development in the aviation sector. From the Middle East to Asia to the United States, Africa and even Nigeria, the story of insufficient capital is the same. On this edition of the program, our focus shifts to how the nation is seeking to develop human capital that will bridge its own sector deficit. A warm welcome to Aviation This Week on Channels Television, and we are reaching you from the International Helicopter Flying School in Enugu. I'm Bukola Jokitumbi. Thank you so much for joining us.
Like blood is essential for life in the human body, human capital development is vital to the development of any industry, and Nigeria's aviation industry is not excluded. Nigeria at the moment is experiencing a shortage of personnel in many areas: air traffic controllers, flight dispatchers, and an aging workforce, especially among pilots. The shortage is persisting for the following reasons. Foreign pilots staff local airlines. However, because of huge expansion in China, India, and the Middle East, there is a serious shortage of pilots, as many Nigerians are now opting to work especially in the United Arab Emirates. There are very few Nigerians undertaking training in aviation because of the high financial cost. Whether it's a pilot course, cabin crew, or aircraft maintenance engineers, no training in the sector comes cheap. Beyond training, there exists a large number of unemployed pilots from data sourced from an Unemployed Pilots Association that puts the figure at over 400. Many question why huge funds will go into this training and the skilled manpower end up without any jobs. Many local airlines have been accused of not giving opportunities to fresh pilots, insisting on a certain amount of flight hours. While these reasons suffice, 3 aviation institutions come under review. The Nigerian College of Aviation Technology is a higher education institute in Zaria, Kaduna State, Nigeria. Established in 1964, it is funded by the federal government of Nigeria. The school was established with the primary objective of producing personnel such as pilots, airline cabin crew, and flight operations officers, dispatchers for the civil aviation industry. It has a fleet of about 26 training aircraft. As of 2013, about 12,500 students have graduated from the college, which offers courses in flying, aircraft maintenance, air traffic control, aeronautical telecommunications, and aviation management. Another training institution is the International Aviation College, Ilorin, in Kwara State, established to train pilots and other aviation professionals in an efficient manner. The IAC was established by the Kwara State government to provide human capital for Nigeria's aviation industry, and is the first privately owned aviation institute in the country. The Aviation College opened its doors to the first batch of students in 2013. The third training institution in the country is the International Helicopter Flying School, IHFS, in Enugu State. It is the first helicopter pilot training institution in Nigeria and the West African sub-region. school, which was initially conceived to be a purely military school to cater for the Nigerian Air Force and friendly allied nations in the sub-region, was licensed by the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority in September 2013 to become a civil aviation training organization.
So what the aircraft will use to compensate for this inequality is the coefficient of lift. And it corrects that coefficient of lift by adjusting the angle of attack.
With the increasing need for helicopter pilots as a result of trends in Nigeria's oil and gas industry, helicopter flight training has become imperative. The Helicopter Flying School says it's infusing its military flying experience into the robust civil aviation world through its enriched knowledge-based training. So far, 43 pilots have graduated from the Helicopter Flying School. The school offers an integrated helicopter pilot course with multi-engine and instrument rating, the private pilot and commercial pilot course. The Aviation College has a fleet of 3 Robinson RC-6 for its flight training.
The capital-intensive nature of aviation training is one factor that prevents quite a number of people from building skills in this direction. If Nigeria will get it right, credit facilities from financial institutions to willing students may be a way out. That's a suggestion coming from our guest, Group Captain Ayola Jolasimi.
The aviation industry in Nigeria is still growing. In fact, it is just growing. And I will say the industry is very vibrant. There are so many opportunities, in fact, a lot of opportunities. There are so many things waiting to be tapped, and I foresee the industry growing more and more. And even globally, aviation is growing rapidly. So there is a huge manpower requirement. Unfortunately, I think we are not doing enough in Nigeria to meet these manpower requirements. Because the truth is, even if it looks like we don't have the capacity for them now, you can buy an aircraft within a couple of days, months, depending on what type of aircraft. But you can't make a pilot overnight. Even when the pilot is made, he must acquire experience. So, we are still not doing enough in terms of training. However, let me quickly add, unfortunately, the industry does not even give room for the few that are trained to really come in. Because I'll tell you the truth, today we have so many young pilots who are out there jobless. It's quite unfortunate. And you look at the industry, of course, that's a different thing. You find a lot of expatriates. What really are we doing to make sure we tap into the capacity developed in the aviation industry? I mean, that actually requires all stakeholders to really get involved and ensure that the young Nigerian pilots are able to come into the system, build the required experience, and then we can take over all these positions where we have expatriates all over the place, and then we'll be able to reap the rewards of whatever the industry is offering us. In terms of funding for manpower, aviation is very expensive, no doubt about that. And individuals can hardly really take care of that. Now, one, you require corporate support and limited government support also. And then, unfortunately, we do not have a good credit system in our financial sector. This is most unfortunate because so many people have come in here, make inquiries, they just couldn't raise the resources required. Integrated program, which includes from the ab initio all through to instrument rating and commercial pilot license, and the man is ready, he becomes a professional pilot. The program itself takes about 20 million naira at present. Those that are involved in aviation, like the Air Force, the Army, the Navy, the police, of course, they all train with us. But some other it's not as if government is not doing anything. But beyond this, I think it's more of the aviation thrives on the economy. So, if we have good credit system, whatever needs to be done in the financial institutions, that an individual can walk in to a financial outfit and say, okay, this is what I want to do, and he could get sponsorship, and of course, things can be worked out. His or her licenses are tied to the repayment of that